Welcome back to Computer Science and Engineering 120, Learning to Code. This is Module 5, presenting Data 1 using HTML. In this part, we'll look at the basics of HTML, including the structure of an HTML document, how to put comments into HTML documents, special characters that may need to be escaped in an HTML document, and we'll also examine the document object model. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It was originally introduced in 1993 and has become the de facto document language for the web. Regular text documents simply have content but no semantics. For example, in the paragraph below, a human can read this and identify each one of the sentences and parts of the sentences. However, a computer would have a difficult time discerning which parts represent what. HTML marks up a document content with tags giving them meaning that a computer can actually parse and interpret. A document begins with a document definition tag. In HTML5, you use a document definition tag similar to this. Document content is placed inside of opening and closing HTML tags. The tags are denoted with angle brackets, inside of which the tag name is placed. Usually documents contain two main parts, a head and a body. The head usually contains metadata and external resources such as scripts and style files. Let's take a look at an example. Here we have a small HTML document. It has an opening tag, and all the content in the document is stored inside of the opening and closing HTML tag. The head and the body are parts of the HTML document. In Lighttable, we can render this by evaluating this HTML document, and it becomes rendered as so. Furthermore, the head contains additional elements, including metadata like the title of the document, my home page, and a reference to an external script file. The body contains the actual content that gets rendered on the page. HTML is highly structured. Again, we had the root HTML element, containing all of the other elements and content of the document. In addition, each element can be nested. This forms a tree data structure with a parent-child relationship. This is very similar to the JSON data formatting that we used before. This is known as the document object model. Here's the HTML document from before, depicted as a tree. At the root, we have the HTML tag, which has two children, the head and the body. The head itself has two children, the title tag and the script tag. The body had three components, a header, a paragraph, and a div tag, a division tag. The paragraph itself had a link to my email, so it has a single child as well. The div element had an unordered list containing 3 items in the bulleted list. The document object model provides a highly structured way of organizing data within a document. Similar to JSON and JavaScript, we can embed comments in an HTML file if we wish. We use a beginning and ending tag to indicate comments, using the less than sign followed by the exclamation point and 2 hyphens. It's ended with 2 hyphens and a greater than sign. Anything inside of these comments is ignored by the browser and has no effect on how the page is rendered. However, it is preserved in the source of a file. If a user examines the source of an HTML file, they'll still be able to see a comment. Here are some examples. The first one is a comment that is placed on a single line. However, you can also have multi-line comments. Anything in between the opening and closing comment tag is ignored. Recall that in JavaScript and JSON, some characters needed to be escaped inside of strings. We have to do something similar with certain characters in HTML. Failure to escape certain characters can lead to incorrect rendering. There is a huge list of HTML entities available at this link, but the most important ones that we'll focus on are as follows. An ampersand must be replaced by an ampersand with AMP, short for ampersand, and a semicolon. The less than, the greater than, the double quote, and the single quote, likewise, should usually be escaped, using the following HTML entities.